Hey guys, this is Broski Poker, and today we're going to be playing 1-3 no limit Holdem at the Wynn. Now for the first hand in our session, we're looking down at pocket twos in the small blind. Now the goal whenever you get pocket twos is always going to be to try to flop a set. So when it folds around to the cutoff and he opens for $10, we're going to go ahead and make a quick call. The big blind folds, and now we're headed two ways to the flop. The flop comes out 9, ace, 6, rainbow, and we completely miss the flop. So what we're going to do is we're going to check it to the original raiser, and he quickly checks back. Now considering that he has a pretty wide range from the cutoff, and he checked back the flop really quickly, I immediately got a feeling that he didn't like that ace. So when the ace of diamonds came out on the turn, that was my cue to lead out for $12, and you can see that he instantly folded, and we pick up a $36 pot. Now in this next hand, we're in the big blind and we look down at ace king suited. Under the gun has a $6 straddle, middle position calls, small blind calls, and I make it $30 to go. Under the gun folds pretty quickly, so does middle position, and the small blind is going to unfortunately fold. Well, there's nothing we can do. We're going to pick up this small pot. And, you know, sometimes it's better to win a small pot rather than lose a big one. And in our next hand, we're going to look down at 6-10 of diamonds. Under the gun has a straddle, small blind's going to call, I'm going to call, and we're going to go three ways to the flop. So the flop comes out 7-5 deuce with 2 diamonds, and we pick up a flush draw. Small blind is going to check, we're going to check and try to get a free card, and under the gun checks as well. On the turn, a 9 of diamonds comes out and we hit our flush. So it's going to check to me and I'm going to lead out for $7 and try to build this pot. Now even with 3 diamonds out there, these guys seem to be unfazed. Both of them put in the call and now we're headed to the river. Now when the 6 of spades comes out there, it completes a lot of straight draws and also some 2-pair combos. So when they check it to me, I'm going to try to get called by a straight, but $22 seems to be too much for these guys, and they both end up making the fold, winning us a $61 pot. Now the third and final hand in this session is going to be when I'm in the small blind and I look down at king, queen offsuit. Now a middle position player limps, and the cutoff is actually going to make a pretty big bet of $20. I just think here he's trying to take advantage of his position and build a pot. So I'm going to go ahead and make the call, and the middle position player is going to make the call as well. And now we're headed 3 ways to the flop. Now the flop comes ace 5 king with 2 diamonds, giving me a backdoor nut flush draw and second pair with a pretty good kicker. There's no reason to lead out here, so I'm going to go ahead and check. Middle position player is going to check as well, and the cutoff is going to lead for $35. Based on the sizing of his pre-flop bet and the sizing of this continuation bet on the flop, I'm putting him on some ace X holdings, maybe ace jack, ace queen. I mean, could potentially be ace king, but I do have a king blocker, so I'm just going to go ahead and make this call and see what happens on the turn, especially seeing that we do have a backdoor nut flush draw. Now when the turn comes the 4 of diamonds, I am loving that card. That's exactly what I wanted to see on the turn, another diamond to give me a backdoor nut flush draw, and it also opens some opportunities for me to represent the nut flush on this street or later streets. By now I've decided to represent the nut flush, so I'm going to go ahead and check to the cutoff and wait to see what he does next. The cutoff does not slow down, and he puts in a bet of $60. You know, I am not going to go anywhere with a diamond on the river giving me the nut flush, and even if the diamond on the river doesn't come, I can still represent the nut flush holding the king of diamonds in my hand. Now the river is a pretty interesting card. It's the queen of spades, which is not a diamond. However, it does bring in a potential straight, and it also gives me 2 pair, which increases my showdown value. So what I've elected to do is I'm going to go ahead and continue representing that nut flush. And at the time, I thought that a $100 bet was a good enough sizing to push him off his hand. In retrospect, while I'm making this video, I do believe that the correct move here was to go all in. But, you know, I did have some hesitancy there. I didn't have a read on this player yet because it was fairly early in the session and he wasn't playing very many hands. So I didn't really have a good feel for him or his style of play. So I opted for a $100 bet, and as you can see, it looks like it wasn't enough to push him off his hand. While he did make the call, I did have some showdown value with my 2-pair, but I was extremely surprised to see that he turned over ace-5 of hearts for a flopped 2-pair. After seeing what his hand truly was, I'm pretty disappointed in myself that I didn't push all in, because I do believe that if I did push all in, I had about close to 300, maybe $280 in my stack before I made that $100 bet. I do believe I would be able to push him off his hand with an all-in on the river. But poker is about making mistakes and then learning from those mistakes. So being able to review it now is actually a privilege for me. And I'm going to use this as a lesson for the future, that if I'm going to be representing something strong like the nut flush there on the river, I'm just going to have to push all in. But I'm very curious to see what you guys have to say about this hand. How would you guys have played it differently? And what mistakes you thought I made, whether it was pre-flop, on the flop, on the turn, on the river. Let me know what you guys think, and we can have a discussion about it in the comments. Now, this is just going to be a short video. This was my first video just to kind of test some things out. But if you do like this content, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll make sure to pump out more videos just like this. My name is Broski Poker, and I'll see you bros later.